Welcome everyone, John Bodine here with Redemptive Psych, and here we're committed to exploring the personality types to understand ourselves, others, and our Creator through understanding His creations. Today we're talking about the ISTP, one of the 16 types. ISTPs are one of the artisan types. This is the SP temperament, which are home to 4 types, which in general they're about freedom and creating stuff and making stuff. They want to exist in the environment and manipulate the environment in skillful ways. The 3 words I have chosen to embody the ISTP are competence, experimental, and precise. Competence, they really care about competence. It's kind of their one constant across all ISTPs I have met. All of them really commit themselves to competence, and they care about building up competence in others. They respect competence in others when they see it, and they hold themselves to that standard of, I need to become competent and remain competent within my craft or pursuit. Second, they are experimental. This is part of their artisan drive to experiment with the environment, to experiment with whatever task or job they may have. It's also a source of fun for them to experiment with stuff. And within that kind of playfulness, which we'll talk about in a moment, unlock some of their ability with their competence. It's like they have to learn how to let themselves play, and it actually makes them sharper and better for it. Third, precise. Particularly with responsible and mature ISTPs, but in general, they care about precision. Whether that's the precision of giving an experience to someone else, making sure that they have what they need, or within their work or within their pursuits, to have a sharp edge and to commit themselves to keeping their edge sharp with whatever it may be, with learning, relationships, with whatever. Precision is kind of their mode of being. And just a quick reminder, the letters are not things that I care about. I don't value them. I think they're kind of distracting. I think the functions, the archetypes, and how each type expresses themselves through their tools is where the meat and the heart of a type is. These top 4 tools, the hero, parent, child, inferior, make up the core components of someone's type. So starting with the top tool, this is everyone's strongest tool. This is the hero function. Introverted thinking hero is the ISTP's top tool. They are very logical. They are competent and constant problem solvers. They think all the time. They're all about their own internal monologue or dialogue about, how do I solve this problem? What about this? What about this? It's more about solving problems that have impact in their environment. This is one of the reasons that can make an ISTP a phenomenal mechanic or athlete or something that has a visceral impact in the environment. They're all about solving problems, especially on the fly, and experimenting in real time to figure out the solution to something. So they have a grand internal thinking life, and they are among the best at problem solving. The second tool, the parent function, this is the source of someone's responsibility or irresponsibility, depending on if the parent is present or not. The parent for the ISTP is extroverted sensing, SE parent. This is about the external environment and the people and the places involved within the immediate environment of the ISTP. Think about SE parent as the difference between being safe and being unsafe. This is how the ISTP protects others and nurtures others, is creating and building up a safe environment, but also directly shaping other people to possess the skill and the ability to navigate whatever environment that person may be in. So it's a dual concern about keeping the environment safe and making it safe for other people in their lives and doing things safely, especially the ISTP who does a lot of dangerous things potentially. Those construction guys who crawl up those giant towers or those giant poles, those are often ISTPs who commit themselves to that dangerous work, but to do it carefully. Next is the child. This is the source of innocence and a constant drive, kind of a naivety, but this renewing energy. For the ISTP, that is child, introverted intuition child. This is where their desire for freedom and expression and pursuit comes from. They want to be free. They want the freedom to pursue their path. They want the freedom to choose and to think about the different path that they might possess. Now, in a less mature ISTP leads with this child, where it says it's all about what I what I want, and if I don't get what I want, I'm going to throw a fit. More mature ISTPs know that it's the work and the commitment that actually enables their child to have fun. The child is also the source of their desire to experiment and to play with. What if I did this? What if I tried it this way? And this can actually unlock some of their hidden genius at times. I've met a lot of ISTPs who are extremely intelligent, and this is partly why, because they allow themselves to play and to experiment and to wonder what would happen if I did this. It's a curiosity about the world around them and finding out what will happen. Now, as long as they are committed to doing that experiment in a safe way, then they can avoid most of the negative consequences because they are not super aware of consequences, which we'll get to in a moment, but they are very aware of the environment. Next is the inferior function. The inferior is the source of our insecurity, our vulnerability, and our anxiety. For the ISTP, their inferior is FE inferior, extroverted feeling inferior. They are worried and anxious about making others feel bad. They are very strong and sharp with their own thinking, but eventually they realize that their thinking can tear people down. So they have this natural push and pull here with their anxiety about, okay, how might this make them feel? Is that too harsh? Is that too harmful? So it's a combination of a concern about hurting someone else, but also not being helpful. Maybe I'm not being helpful enough for that person. Maybe I haven't given enough. And this can lead ISTPs to feel like they need to just keep helping someone else more and more and more. This is part of their endearing nature, actually, because some people accuse ISTPs of being a little selfish with their choice and being a little self-concerned. But they can also be so committed to helping other people and building them up that they have this quality of selflessness, even if it's not present at all times. So this anxiety about, it's basically social anxiety. How do I interact with that person? How do I make sure I'm helping them and not harming them? Maybe I'm being a little too harsh. Maybe I'm not being harsh enough. These are the concerns and the anxiety of ISTPs. Now, as they learn and as they grow, they can become very competent and very capable with their social grace and with their ability to help other people. But it requires them to let go of some of their clinching on to their thoughts and their logic and their problem solving. Among all the types, they are the ones that tend to need to learn that just because I have the right answer doesn't mean it's actually helpful. And filtering their thoughts through the context of, hey, is that actually going to help that person? That allows them to be very likable and gentle when they need to be, but also commit to being strong and perhaps a little harsh when that needs to happen too. Next is the Nemesis function. This is the other half of the hero function. For the ISTP, their Nemesis is TE Nemesis, extroverted thinking Nemesis. What are other people thinking? What are the orders or the rules around me that other people have developed? It's basically a concern or worry that other people have not thought through things clearly or carefully. It's a concern that other people are dumb, that other people don't have what it takes to think through something and solve a problem. This can be a source of ISTP's pride, where they can condemn other people for not being as smart as they are or just not getting it. But it can also be a source of maturity for them. As they grow and develop, they realize that a lot of the people they thought were dumb are capable of learning. They just need to be able to digest the information in a certain way. So instead of being someone who judges them for not being able to get it the first time, the ISTP's road to becoming a better teacher, which is their inner desire to be a good teacher, is to supply the information and the context. And instead of just sharing their thoughts, they become someone who supplies information and helps someone else build up their thinking. Next is the critic. This is the ISTP's inner critic, the inner skeptic. The inner critic for the ISTP is introverted sensing, SI. This is a criticism of their work ethic. This is a criticism of their commitment to their pursuit. They live in a constant state of internal criticism of their own ability to endure, to commit, and to last. This can make them extremely hardworking people. The artisans in general, people think of them as lazy potentially, but the reverse is also true. When they commit to a certain path, they can be amongst the most hardworking and focused of all the types. So they walk around worried that they are not dutiful enough, there's this inner critic tells them that they don't work hard enough, that they don't have the routines and the habits established. And this allows them, if it doesn't crush them, allows them to sharpen up and to become more long-lasting and consistent. Because the ISTP comes to know that the path to great performance and great skill in their environment is consistency. So building up personal experience and committing themselves to increasing their capacity for discomfort and becoming more routine oriented and habitual helps them become more consistent and capable. Next is the trickster function. The trickster is just as it sounds, where we think we get it and then we don't get it and then maybe we do get it. It's this kind of uncertainty in pulling out the chair, but also a spirit of curiosity. For the ISTP, their trickster is NE trickster, extroverted intuition trickster. This is about consequences. They are not really aware of what's going to happen after the immediate result. They don't always see that, they rarely see what's going to happen 3 or 4 or 6 ripples from now after they make a certain choice. This can get them into trouble where they just try things on impulse or react on impulse and then something's broken or they hurt someone or something worse happens. This can happen a lot when they're younger especially, and just are all about what they want, and then a very bad or unintended consequence can happen. Now, as an ISTP grows older, if they commit themselves to sharpening their memory and getting more experiences and being disciplined, they can look back in time and say, okay, what happened that one time I did that? And then they can see the consequence through that. So through past experience, they can develop their trickster a little bit. Next is the demon function. The demon is also called the underminer. I know demon is somewhat of a polarizing term, but this bottom function for all of us is the place where we are undermined without really knowing it. It's creating damage to ourselves or others without really knowing it. For the ISTP, their underminer, their demon, is FI demon, introverted failing demon. This is their place of self-worth. This is their place of emotional awareness. This is their place of warmth. They often believe that they are worthless people. They often think that their worth is directly connected to how others value them. So this is one of the drives that leads them to want to be helpful for other people so that they can feel valued and important and worthy. They are really concerned that they are worthless. And this can be one of the things that leads them to paths of self-destruction at times, is this internal belief that they are worthless. But the secret to an ISTP becoming very helpful and oriented to help healing and teach others is to experiment basically with realizing, hey, what if I actually am already worthy? What if I am made with care and have intrinsic worth as who I am? When they do that, when they can even just experiment with that, they will find that their ability to help others is increased exponentially, because no longer are they just helping to get validation, they are helping to give validation and healing and teaching to other people. But that's their bottom function. That is their struggle, their kind of unconscious struggle. And if they can become a little more aware of it, they might be able to discern that a lot of the things they pursue or a lot of the ways they help people come from this deep feeling that they are worthless. And in fact, they are not. So that's the ISTP in a nutshell. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment or share your thoughts if you have a story or an insight about the ISTP. I would love to check it out. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.